Good evening, everybody. So welcome back to our Tuesday night lives. We will get back on track with these now that the season is over. Um, it gets to be a lot to expect everybody to jump on here on a Tuesday night after being gone all week or heading out the next week um, for the next Derby. So lots of things to talk about tonight. I'm going to keep it down to just a few. Uh, but first and foremost, I want to thank all of our anglers and sponsors for the support through the last year, 2 years really. Um, I have, when I started this, I didn't know what I was getting myself into really, and I've made some mistakes. I, made some, judgment calls that were unpopular. I get all that, and I acknowledge that. But I've taken a lot of advice from a lot of people over the last 2 years. A lot of guys have had input on one thing or the other, and kind of deciphering all that over the last couple of years has been interesting, to say the least. But some of our announcements tonight are because the voices of our anglers are important. Our anglers are important, and we have listened. Unfortunately, change can't happen as fast as we all want sometimes, myself included. Um, so, with that, again, I appreciate everybody's loyalty to the MTT, both our anglers and our sponsors. Couldn't do it without any of y'all. And hopefully, we'll see you guys all around next year. And hopefully, with some of the things we got coming up, we can grow our field and grow our MTT family um, as we work into years to come. Um, so the schedule was put out on Facebook here a couple days ago. Um, so let's I'm going to pull that up here. Let's. It's a little bit tough to see probably on your side, um, but this will also get posted um, after this live is over, as well as this live will obviously stay on our Facebook feed. It'll be on our YouTube channel as well. So one of the things that we have heard a lot about for the last couple of years is the number of tournaments is just a grind. Um, Understand this. You know, I get it. I hear it. We're at all the tournaments too, and you're right. It is absolutely a grind. So we are going to change our format for 2026. Um, we're going to do some lake changes, and it's really hard to change all the lakes and do all the things in one year. So, in picking our battles, we're going to change the format. Um, we're going to go down. We're going to start our schedule off next year, early May, as it's been in many years past, in Big Stone at Ortonville City Park. Um, we're going to start the season with a 2-day event in Ortonville. I've had some conversations with Artie, and we're gonna do our best to make that a heck of a season kickoff down there for 2026. Um, Mille Lacs will be our next stop, May 16th and 17th. That'll be our first weekend of 2 single-day events. That will be out of Hunters Point. Um, I do know that I spoke to Justin last weekend during the shootout. Um, Lodging and such, I'd get on the horn with those guys sooner rather than later, uh, so that we can make sure there's space for everybody. The St. Louis River in Superior, that's come to me a lot, so we're going to give that a shot. That'll be out of the Rice Point Access. The physical host for the tournament will be announced on Facebook as soon as I get it back. There's some conversations happening with a couple of different potential hosts for the Superior event. Lake Winnebagosh will be our next set of 2 singles, June 27th and 28th. There is a month off in there for MTT points events. We will still be co-hosting the Hunters point shootout and the 100 point couples tournament, as the MTT has done for a very long time. But Lake Winnebagosh, the host site is to be announced. Having some conversations with some folks up there. Had some conversation with the folks at Denny's, and Pat said thank you to everybody. It's been a great run, but it's time for them to be done doing tournaments out of Denny's. So if you guys get up there, make sure you thank Pat and Rhonda and the girls, everybody up there, for all they've done for the MTT over the years, as well as all the MTT anglers that reside there in their summer homes, for hosting the MTT for so long up there and being great people. From Lake Winnebagosh, we're going to go to Leech Lake the 12th and 13th of July for 2 single days. That will be hosted out of Horseshoe Bay Lodge. Cam and his staff were very accommodating to our tournament when we were there in July, and really want to have us back, and we would really like to go back there. Nice resort. It's got all the things, lots of lodging available, great restaurant, parking, all those things are available at Horseshoe Bay. The Lake of the Woods, the 8th and 9th of August will be a 2-day. That will be our second 2-day of the year. It will be out of the Wheelers Point Access, and we will determine in the next couple weeks, when I get up to Lake of the Woods, where our host site will be on Lake of the Woods for 2026. There's a couple of resorts that we've worked with in the past. We'd like to give them an opportunity to host again in the future. And then probably the biggest change to this schedule for 2026 is Mille Lacs, September 18th and 19th will be our championship in 2026. We are going to rotate our championship between Lake of the Woods, Mille Lacs, Winnebagosh, and Leech. This has been a resounding request from a lot of anglers. Jim Houston, Cass would be fun. I went up and I met with some folks up on Cass Lake, and Cass could definitely be in our future, just not in 2026. Folks have that scheduled out well in advance. So instead of trying to jam us in there and not being able to be accommodating, we opted to look at 2027 for a potential Cass Lake event. I think a handful of you guys know I went up there and hung out and saw the things that the MWC was doing when they were out of Stoney's for their event on Cass. It was a great event. Was a great venue. Talked to some other venues up there, and they're just too tight. So that is our schedule. Please note, as always, permits have gone in. They have to be received by the end of September. All these things that the rules of DNR has. There is always a potential that we lose a permit or we don't get a permit on the weekend we want. So just know they're tentative, and the moment that we have approval on permits, again, we'll get on here. We'll let everybody know. So that's our schedule changes for next year. I'm going to jump right over to the next thing we've got going on. So we announced it at the shootout, as well as there's been a lot of buzz about this. It's industry-wide, the tournament fishing industry, not just walleye, not just bass, not just whatever, is different folks enjoy fishing different ways, as well as enjoy competing at a tournament level. So starting in 2026, all of our events will have 2 divisions. Okay. I'll walk through this payout structure on the live, of course. But please, please, if you guys have questions about this, call me on my cell phone. It's the 320-761-4723 number. It's important that everybody understands how this works and how we came up with this. This is just a sample. It's a 60 boat payout structure saying that 40 are in the open class and 20 are in the traditional class. Essentially, this is a scoping and non-scoping division. Rules, there will be rules for both divisions, and as I work through those with the folks that we have helping us out, they will also be posted. So if 60 teams are entered in a one-day event and the entry fee is $300, that gives us a payout of $14,400 total. There will be an overall payout of 10% of the total purse. Of the remaining funds in the purse, the funds will be divided based on the number of entrants into each division. So for easy math, we did 20 in the traditional division and 40 in the open division for this graphic, for this graph. So basically, the open purse is 2/3. The traditional purse is 1/3 in this case, and you can see the breakdown where we'll pay top 5 in open in this case and top 3 in the traditional, because there's twice as many boats in the open as the traditional. I know that the checks are great. The plaques are even more awesome for a lot of you folks. That's where the memory is. So we will be plaquing from first place through 10th place in the open division, first through 5th place in the traditional division, and of course there'll be a plaque for the overall first place overall. One additional place will be added in each division for every 5 total boats additional. So at 65 boats, we will add 1 in each. At 70 boats, we would add 1 in each. We feel that this is a really easy, basic structure for people to look at. We feel it's fair. Essentially, everybody will be competing against your peers. Traditional competing against traditional, open against open, and then of course the overall first place will be the first place overall. So any questions on that, put them in the chat. Drew Erickson, no, do not call the website number. That's my next conversation. So yeah, anyhow, questions on this, please reach out. I want everybody to understand how we came to this payout structure. A lot of time and effort from a lot of people went into this to make sure that it was presentable and fair to everybody that wants to fish. People want a bigger payout, more boat equals more boats. Start a separate tournament series. No, we're not going to do that. We want everybody to be able to come and fish together. So we will be doing split divisions in 2026. If we end up with so many boats that we don't know what to do with them, we'll address that. But for now, we want to include everybody that's been supporting the MTT for as many years as they have. Okay. I got one more thing here I will put over. So one of the other things that's been kind of a work in progress, and a lot of folks have asked about it, and it's been kind of a stalemate, is the new MTT website. We talked about it, and we were not, this is of course, this is earmarked with last year's dates for placeholders, and that'll be fixed here the next couple weeks, and this will be live. We were unable to launch a new website mid-season in 2025 due to we would have lost everybody's login information and everything, and everybody would have had to re-register, and it would have been really difficult to manage, and it would have made it super difficult for everybody to get their membership figured out and register and do all those things. So we had no choice but to wait until now. As soon as we have our permitting back and we can change dates, we will update the website with those dates, destinations, and all of those great things. So you'll be able to reach Facebook from here, Instagram, YouTube. One thing that will be super nice with our new website is when we live stream on Facebook for our takeoff, our weigh-in, or our award ceremony type stuff, people at home that are not Facebook savvy or are not on social media will be able to go on the website and watch it live just like everybody else via the website, rather than having to download an app on their phone that they really don't want in the first place. So this is fully functional. Every link here will take us to our sponsor pages. It will take us to our purchase pages. So we will do a full announcement when that comes up, and we will do kind of an orientation of the website. Not that anybody needs to learn how to use the website, but we'll walk through the registration process. The registration process will be easier. We'll have some more options. We'll have an option for a season package, which will be paying for and selecting all your events on one page very quickly. So part of our structure for next year will be qualifying will be 5 singles and 1 double. Team of the year will also be 5 singles and 1 double. The qualifier and the team of the year qualifier will be the same. There will be a separate points race for traditional team of the year and open or overall team of the year. So with that, if anybody has any questions, like I said, please don't hesitate to reach out. We want everybody to feel comfortable with what's going on. There's a lot of change. It's probably the most change that we've done that the MPT's done in a long time. Condensing the schedule was super important to make sure everybody can spend time doing the other things they want to do, spending time with their family, things of such, as well as just less travel, less overall travel for everybody. So that was a big change. Moving the championship was a big change. We, as a group, feel that it's very important that the championship rotates. It's for no major negative reason. It is simply because we feel that the championship should be on a different body of water in a rotating manner. Nick, Nick Dionysiopoulos, can you flip back and forth between the two divisions? This will all come out in the rules, but no, you cannot flip back and forth between the divisions. Once you designate your division, you will have to stay in that division, and those rules will all come out at one time. So it's not lake dependent. It is it's a choice that has to be made. So 5-ish, but maybe fish 1 or 3 and still get invited to the championship. No, there will not be an option to pay through. You will need to fish your events if something comes up. let us know. We'll try to work through it, but there will not be a pay-through option. We will have options next year that in the event it's has to happen, that we will have a type of boat marshal or something available if it's going to keep you from the championship. But we will make sure to do everything we can to help you, but there will not be an option to just pay through. You will have to fish. Mike Olson, I don't really know what you're asking. So that's what I've got. Any other questions, ask. Stay tuned for the rules update. The rules will also post on the new website when it's out. We will post all of the archived results from 24 and 25. We also do have a drive that we didn't know that we had up at the office that has a lot of the archived results from the 5 years prior to MTT owning it. So they might not be every tournament from every year, but all of the archived results that we took over with from Mike and Renee will be posted on there, so that you guys can have them for memory's sake and things like that. So, any other questions? Give us a call, email, call. I see Maria put my cell phone number in the chat. That will help clear up some communication issues too, which I apologize for. Having two separate phone numbers was just a disaster. So from this point forward, my cell phone number will be the number to call for anything MTT. So please reach out if you have any questions. We appreciate everybody. We appreciate everybody fishing with us this year. We'll be up at the Chili Bowl co-hosting that here in October, here in just a couple of weeks. And then Flickerbirds Resort has asked us to co-host their walleye tournament the weekend of October 18th on East and West Rush Lake. Fun little local derby. I do believe they still have spots open. I haven't been told it's filled yet. So come hang out. Let us know your thoughts. One other thing that we did announce up at the shootout last weekend is that we have formed a board, which has put a ton of work into things like the schedule, the two-division structure. All members of that board will remain anonymous. I assure you they are real. They have absolutely saved me hours and hours of time banging my head against the wall to try and make some things work out here this year. So I appreciate those folks as well. And until next time, if nobody else has any questions, we will see you guys next Tuesday night. Maybe we'll have some updates on some things as well. Thanks, guys. Take care.